morning. Welcome to your hopper. Can you guess who I am? How was your weekend? Oh, I recouped all weekend. I got some sleep. I laid around yesterday, took a hot bath, and just chilled out all day. It was invigorating. And then back to work this morning. Lots and lots and lots to get done today. So let's jump right in, okay? I titled it both on Facebook and YouTube today. Hurt people, hurt people. Think about that for a minute. Hurt people, hurt people. It's actually pretty simple. A lot of times we talk about it as a cycle. You know, something we, I don't know if you heard that. Huh, that was weird. One of the animals out there. Anyway, uh, squirrel moment. Hurt people hurt people. So when you maybe had learned something as a child, and then you think, I'm never going to do that as an adult. And then as you grow up, you kind of do the same thing, maybe tweaked it a little bit, but it's still along the same lines. And then it's basically the same thing. And then later on, your children do the same thing. So it's a consistent uh, reliving over and over again. So if you were hurt, and if you are hurt, you in turn are going to turn around and hurt people. For example, here's another really good example. So if you are driving down the road and someone cuts you off, that hurt. That's a form of hurt, okay? Because it ticks you off. And so then maybe you cut off the next person because now you have this little bit of road rage. Okay, it doesn't matter what the hurt is. When you are a hurt person, you in return hurt people. That's that's kind of the whole thing that happens in life. It's just it's a continuous thing. I was telling my girlfriend this story yesterday. Uh this is public. I don't know that I want to put this on here. I'm gonna do it anyway. Y'all learn from my mistakes. So when my youngest son was very little. We didn't have a lot of money, and I was taking him to the apple orchard for the day. And they had a bunch of little vendors, but they had clowns, and you could pick apples and see the apple cider get made. This is back in my home state. It was a really cool thing they did. But there was a lot of vendors, and they sold things towards kids. And I told my youngest son, I said, now when we get there, we don't have the money. We're not buying anything. And so we walked around, he never asked for anything, and here's how I know I hurt him, okay, because every time we would go to the store and he would see something he absolutely loved and wanted to have, he would always say, "Mommy, someday when we have money, can you buy this for me?" Apparently, I made it very evident that we did not have money for anything. Okay, so we get to the orchard and he's walking around, he's looking at all this stuff, and he finds this little booth where they're making bracelets. And it was $7 to make this bracelet. You could put X amount of beads on it for that $7. It's just this little leather piece of string thing, and you put the little beads on there to say, or baseball charms or whatever. And he was an avid baseball player. And he says, "Mom, can I please have $7?" I said, "No, Howie, I don't have the money." He's, "Mommy, please, please." And I said, "What do you want it for?" And I'm looking at the charms and I'm thinking he's wanting another baseball charm. And I said, "Howie," oops, I don't like using my kids' names. Oops, sorry. Anyway, I said, "Honey, you no, I don't have the money." And he looked at me with these big eyes and he says, "Please, Mom, I haven't asked for anything. Can I please just have the $7?" By this point, I was irritated. And I said, "Fine. I'm going to give you the $7. Don't you dare ask for anything the rest of the day." Like most of us parents snap, I snapped at my son. I gave him the $7 and I was so irritated. I'm thinking, he knows not to ask for money. I was at wit's end. And he says, "Mom, can you go over there and wait, please?" And I said, "I know you're just going to get another baseball charm. Fine, I'll go over there and wait. I was so frustrated. He gets done. He comes over and he says, Mom, you want to see what I got? And I said, I'll just see it when we get in the car. I was being very snippy with him, which there was no reason to be. It was supposed to be a fun time, and I let $7 ruin my fun with him. Shame on me. So then he says, But Mom, can I please show it to you now? I said, Fine, show it to me. He handed me this bracelet that had about 5 or 6 beads on it. Had a bead, and then an eye, and then a heart, and then the word mom. You talk about sucking the life out of me. That crushed my soul. This little boy took my negative, nasty treating of him because I was irritated and bought me something. I still, this day, have that charm. I actually wear it sometimes just when I'm missing him. But he took that moment of my anger and he turned it around and loved me. That was a very uncommon point where a hurt person didn't hurt somebody. Could you imagine if every time we get hurt, instead of hurting someone else, like if you have a bad day at work, you come home and you're snippy with all your family members because you had a bad day. That's hurting people, hurt people. But if we took that where someone was hurt and did like my little boy did and show you love, no matter how much you were hurting while he tried to show you that love and turned it into, it melted me. Yesterday, when I told the story, I cried. So I'm glad I told it yesterday once. So that way I could get it out of my system for today. I didn't even plan on telling the story. I actually was going someplace else with this, but you know, what comes out of my mouth is what's going to happen for the day. So when we have someone who is hurting around us and being nasty and being, just not good, we need to take a deep breath and think, how can I love them and make them realize, like my son did, that this was about being together and having a good time. So why did I even take him to the orchard that day? If I was going to have an attitude and be irritated, why would I take him on a family outing? Because it was my obligation. It was my duty as a mom to take him someplace to have fun when I was not about to have fun that day because of my attitude. If my son is watching right now, I want you to know how sorry I am for that day and probably many other days. All my kids. Sometimes we can't see the hurt that we are giving out because we're doing what we think is right. We're taking our kids to the orchard. However, they would have had a better time staying at home and you watching TV with them than they would of you doing your obligation with a really bad attitude. Now, a lot of us parents look back and say, I wish I could change that. I wish I could go and do a do over. But as long as we have learned from our mistakes and we take those mistakes and we turn it around so our from this day forward is better, then that's all we can do. Because I can guarantee you those children who you wish you could make those change those mistakes, no matter how perfect you think their life is, and no matter how great you think, well, I don't know how those kids turned out so good. It wasn't for me because I was a horrible parent. I can bet your bottom dollar that they are now raising their kids and they're going to look back and think the same thing because there is no perfect parent. There is not a single parent that doesn't have some sort of regret or wish they could redo. Some of us, there's a lot more we wish we could change than the person next to us. But we did what we thought was right at the time. We didn't know what we know now. And as long as we continue to learn and grow, we can be that grandparent that we had and give it to the grandkids and still continue to give it to our kids today, the time they deserve, the love they deserve. The past is gone. No matter what you did yesterday, I laid around all day. It's over. It's gone. We cannot get it back. But today is the perfect day to be the first day of your new life. Hurt people hurt people. Stop hurting. Learn how to grow. Learn how to change your mindset. And if there is somebody else hurting, love them. If you're not on Heart's Discernment yet, I recommend that you go on Facebook over to Heart's Discernment and join that group. We do a lot of training like this. We do a lot of mindset stuff, and I'm there loving on you as much as I possibly can. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will see you tomorrow around 9:30 Central Time. I love you all. Bye-bye.